Hi, welcome to Seated Tai Chi Session 2. In this session, we will begin with breathing and warm-up exercises, and from there we will move on to a review of the form that we learned in Session 1, Commencement, and we will, after that, learn our new form of wave hands like clouds. For the breathing exercises in Session 2, we're going to review butterfly breathing, and then we're going to move on, and I'm going to teach a new breathing exercise called spinal cord breathing. Okay, so review, remembering to have that chin tucked in, right, like you're being suspended up, sitting with your feet shoulder or hip width apart, and bringing our hands up, and we're going to come out with our hands as we're breathing in, turning them out, and exhaling as we're sweeping around. And let's do that 3 times. You can come wide if you're comfortable with that. Let pain be your guide. Excellent. The next one is called spinal cord breathing. I'm going to put loose fists with my thumb on the outside, and I'm going to bring back my shoulders so that my shoulder blades are coming close together. And we're going to breathe in as we're making that motion. And then I'm going to come forward, and I'm going to bring my elbows together as I curl forward. Breathing out. Shoulders back and curl forward. Now, if you're not comfortable with leaning forward like this, just go down as far as possible, trying to bring the elbows together if you can, and breathing in and out. So you can just stay up here, or come as close as you can. If you can bring them in, that's great. Or you can come forward, curling right forward. Excellent. Spinal cord breathing. We're going to do our warm-up, our joint opening exercises now. So remember, you can come forward on your chair to engage that core. Here we go, just a little bit forward, making sure you're comfortable and secure. Okay, what we're going to do before we actually start the warm-up exercises is I'm going to teach you a very common brain exercise called Cook's Hookup. And how it's done is we're going to bring our hands up, and I'm going to take my right hand, and I'm going to come all the way around the left, so I intertwine the fingers this way. It's a little tricky. So right comes over and intertwine, and then I'm turn in like so. Now, if that is really difficult, you can even just go like this, bring it in, and then you're going to cross your legs. So if you can, right comes around, interlock the fingers, and turn it in, and crossing the legs. And just sitting like this for a minute, this enhances and engages both sides of the brain, preparing you to learn new forms. And you can just breathe naturally. As you sit like this, you can do this as you're watching TV or just sitting to look out the window, enjoy the beautiful sunshine. Or if you're outside at the park, just sitting on the bench, just to enhance your learning capabilities. Okay, so now let's start with our warm-up exercises. Feet shoulder width apart. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to put our hands behind our neck, remembering that our head is very heavy, so we're going to support it as we roll around to the back. Now, the reason I do this is just to have extra security for that neck as you're rolling back. So I'm going to start in one direction, and then I'm going to reverse and go in the other direction. rolling. Excellent. And then hands down. Now, I'm going to interlock my hands again, like so, my fingers, I mean, and I'm going to bring in my elbows. So I'm like this. And then I'm going to do just a slight figure eight, the infinity sign, just so I'm exercising those wrists. Nice. Let's do that for a minute. And then I'm going to open up, and then I'm going to bring in my elbows in that motion. Great. Now you can even go wider and bring in your shoulders too. You have to kind of come forward a little bit. So if that's a challenge, really opening up that shoulder, feeling the joints opening up, kind of putting pressure on the bottom of your feet. Nice. Remember, you can just go small. Whatever works for you. Great. Now you can hold on to the back of the chair for this next exercise. If you feel secure, you can put your hands on your lap. That's up to you. I'm going to start with putting my hands on the back of the chair, and I'm just going to roll my body around. I'm going to start in one direction, and then I'm going to go in the other direction. And again, the range of motion depends on what you're comfortable with. Okay. Like last time, we're just going to swing our arms just to get that waist motion in. Swinging the arms. And as I'm turning, my head's turning with the rest of my body. Keeping that head up, don't drop your head down. Just letting the arms go loose. They can even kind of slap at the lower part of your upper body as you're coming around. Excellent. And shaking out. Now, from my knee down, I'm just going to pick up my leg if I can, and I'm just going to rotate that knee. And you can, if you can't do that, you can just do rotating from the elbow down. If you're able, just rotating the knee, both directions. You can even do it down here. If it's a strain to lift it up, you can just rotate from the ground. And both legs, and in both directions. So I'm rotating one way, then I'm going to turn and rotate in the other. Excellent. Remember, you can always rotate upper body if you're not able to rotate the leg. Great. And then we can rotate our ankle. Again, you can do it in the air if possible, and rotate the wrists at the same time or separate. And in both directions. Excellent. I'm just going to stretch out. I always have cracking in my ankles. There we go. Okay. And just like last time, we're going to conclude the warm-ups with that 3 stretches up. I'm going to lock the fingers, coming up as high as you're comfortable. Coming right up if you can, and scooping down. We'll do that 3 times. Excellent. Okay, now we're ready to move on to a review of commencement, and then we're going to learn the new Tai Chi Yang style form called Wave Hands Like Clouds. So in our first session, we did the form commencement, and that form from the Yang style 108 goes like this. So we start with our hands loose by our side, feet shoulder width apart, chin tucked in, keeping the arms. Remember, they're going to stay relaxed as the strings are pulling up our wrists to shoulder height. Straighten your hands, and then the strings are pulling your elbows back into place. And we're going to do that 3 times. So we come up and down. Don't want that rib cage to go up, so those shoulders need to stay down. Practice as your arms come up, your shoulders go down. After the 3 times, we'll do it one more time, and I'll show you the transitional move. Coming down. And then remember, we turn to the right hand goes on top, left's underneath. And when we turn, remember, everything moves as one. Keeping the spaces under your arms, between your fingers. Keeping that head suspended upwards. Excellent. And then we're ready to move on to Wave Hands Like Clouds. So if you remember, we left off with hold the ball after the 3 commencements. Then we come over here and hold the ball right, and our body is turned to the right. So we're holding the ball, the imaginary ball, and what we're going to do is our right hand's going to come down and our left is going to come up. So the right hand that's on top comes down, comes over, so that's in front of your body, and we're going to follow the left across, turning at our waist. So you see how my hands are moving with my waist. Left turns out, it's going to come down, and the right comes up, and then we turn with our waist to the right. Right comes down, and left comes up, and turning. Now, don't drop your heads down, because you'll notice my hand is a little lower than eye level. So I don't want to drop my head down to look at my hand. We have soft eyes, the hand is in the vision, but we are not dropping the head down. And you'll notice I have the spaces between my fingers. My thumb is relaxed. It's not hidden behind. It's not upright like that. Just relaxed. So it comes down and the other one comes up. We're breaking off. That one comes down. The other right comes up. Right breaks off. Left comes down, following it across. Now, a number of things to remember is that, remember, we're using mind intent, not force. That's one of the principles of Tai Chi. So we're keeping relaxed, keeping that elbow down. We don't want the elbow up like this, keeping it down so our shoulder stays down and relaxed. Nice soothing motion. Once you get that motion in, right goes out, left comes up. Follow the left across, left goes out, and right comes up, following the right across. And that left just comes down below, breaks off, comes out, comes down below. Turning with the waist so that your head goes, everything moves as one. One part moves, all parts move. Another principle of Tai Chi, one part moves, all parts move. It'll take a while before you get the hands down, but once you get the hands down, you'll notice it's nice, soothing motion. Wave hands like clouds. Excellent. So remember too, we don't want our hand up really high. Keep that elbow down so that your shoulder stays relaxed. And we don't want our hand way far out, right? Just keep that curve to your arm. You'll see 70%. Always have curves in Tai Chi, so nothing's ever extended out like this. We always keep that curve in our arm. Wave hands like clouds. Nice. So from hold the ball, the right goes down, the left comes up, That right hand's going to be on the bottom, so you see how the hands are evenly apart. Comes over, follow it across. And this is like a strike and deflect. In Tai Chi, all the movements have martial art applications. Nice flow to it. And that as you practice, you'll get into the flow of that. But just remembering to start, you're holding the ball on the right, right comes down, left comes up, and following it across. Keeping the elbows relaxed. Excellent. We're going to go through wave hands like clouds. We're going to do it 5 times. We're going to start with hold the ball on the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And when we get back, we hold the ball again. Okay, and we're ready for our next form called Part the Wild Horse's Mane. Now we're going to move into closure for session 2. In session 3, we will learn the new Tai Chi Yang style form called Part the Wild Horse's Mane. So let's begin. So last time, remember, we patted down the body. We started going down the left arm and up the right. We'll do that again. And coming back up. Do this 3 times. Letting that wrist go loose. Excellent. And then just in closure, remember taking in oxygen, taking in optimum amount of oxygen, and just imagine that you're washing that energy through, stagnant energy going out through the bottom of your feet into the earth. Breathing in and exhaling. And one more time. And exhaling. Thank you for joining me for session 2. I look forward to seeing you in session 3.